Yes, I am here with John Rigg, who as a kid loved robots so much that it evolved into 1,500 of them in his collection. John, thanks again for joining us.
You're welcome.
Now, did you ever think when you were a kid playing with robots that you'd end up having a huge collection of them?
No, that wasn't my goal at all.
It wasn't. No. And you like taking them apart and putting them back together,
That's
right?
what I really liked about these as a kid.
Now, this is one of the ones that you had when you were a kid.
I tore it apart and put it back together, and it was unique because it had 2 speeds and it had sequential lights. And I had
what
to
year
figure
is
out.
this from?
This would be about 1962.
And it's called a gear robot.
Gear
right?
robot, yeah.
That's cool. Can you turn it off?
It's off.
We got to move on.
We got to move on.
Now, you've got these home robots as well. These are interesting to me. Tell me about these.
Home robots, they became popular about '85. Marketing people thought maybe they could sell robots if they convinced people they needed them at home. Sort of like you need a computer at home these days.
RB5X. It looks a little like R2-D2.
A little bit. I think they were trying to rip it off.
But they actually didn't really do anything,
No,
did
they really were just toys, expensive toys. Yeah.
What did they claim to do? Like, what did this one do?
This one likes to play games, ask you questions, and if you don't play with it enough, it comes looking for you.
Oh, it follows you around.
It does. It follows you around.
Now, you actually make some robots as well. This is Gort.
Right.
Tell me
These
about
are reproductions, and I made Gort. He's all fiberglass, actually with a lot of help of other people as well.
Ooh.
And he's opening.
And yeah, that visor opens up.
And a death ray is going to come on shortly, so let's just stand a little bit to the side here.
A death ray?
Oh yeah, it's from the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still in 1951.
Whoa, death ray, don't look at it.
Oh, where's my visor?
Right, so that's from The Day the Earth Stood Still.
That's correct, yes.
Now you also have Robby.
Robby is a
Robby the robot,
right.
Tell me about him.
Well, I built this because I had a very fondness for Robby. I think he has the most personality of all the movie and TV robots.
And he didn't just appear in the Forbidden Planet movie, he was in...
Twilight Zones, a couple of Lost in Space, Columbo, on and on and on. Major movie career.
And you made... Oh my goodness.
Robby speaks.
Robby still speaks. Robby's stealing the show here. Now, how long did it take you to make this?
A couple of years. About 2 years to make all the molds and then have all the plastic parts thermoformed.
Are you a mechanical engineer?
No, an electronic and mechanic designer, but not so much an engineer, yeah.
Jeez, now of course you recognize this one, John and Claire, from Lost in Space. Now you made this one as well.
That's correct.
Tell me about this one.
It kind of followed after Robby. I figured it's the second most popular robot, so I had to have it.
And Robby you think has the best personality, but what about this one?
It is a close runner-up, isn't it? Because I think most people relate to the Lost in Space robot because it's not quite so old. I think a lot of us grew up with this robot.
And this one used to warn of danger, right?
Warned of danger, yes, and went on a rampage weekly almost. Yeah.
Now, what can this one do, the one that you made?
This one doesn't do a whole lot.
But the one that from Lost in Space could do a lot.
Yeah, well, there's actually a person inside the one from Lost in Space, so it could act.
Oh, and actually, can we come back to Robby for a second? You used to have, you used to say that there was a little person, maybe the size of me, inside here.
Inside here.
And this is so heavy.
Yes.
I can't even imagine if you fell down in this, how you'd be able to get back up.
That's right. It would be difficult. It's articulated, and the person looked out through behind these neon tubes up here. Their eyes would be right behind there. Wow. So they weren't very tall.
And this is an actual mold from the real Robby?
From the original glove, that's correct.
And Robby only has 3 fingers.
3 fingers.
That's interesting.
That's correct.
Now, is there something out there that you want, something that would complete your collection?
The Gang of 5. It's 5 robots that I would just love to get my hands on, or even one of them.
Even one of them.
Even
so if you're
one of
out there, you collect robots, he wants the Gang of 5.
That's right.
And do you ever find yourself talking like this?
No, I don't find myself.
Oh, you don't? Well, thank you so much for showing us your collection.
Wonderful.
John, this is just outstanding. I want to ask